Hello again, Year 5. I'm back. It's time for another guitar lesson. So, hopefully you're all sitting with a guitar in position, ready to play. Hopefully it has been tuned for you. And hopefully no one has been fiddling with the tuning pegs so that it stays in tune for you. So, there will be a new tune today. But before we get to that, I want to go back through some of the techniques that we have been learning so far to make sure that everyone has got it. Okay, so I will suggest some pauses as before, and I will request the teacher pauses anytime that they think it's appropriate to give you a little more time to get the hang of something. And any of the class who would like a pause, you know what to do. You put up your hand, you ask politely, and I'm sure your teacher will pause for you. So let's get started. The rest stroke. You all know what that is. It's the technique that we've been learning so far, how to play the guitar. So I'm resting my thumb on the thickest string, the one nearest to my face, the 6th string. And I'm going to play string 1. I'm going to use my index finger and I'm going to do it like this. It's called a rest stroke because my finger comes to a rest on the next string along. My finger is quite straight. It's not a hook, it's not like this, it's straight. Maybe it's not perfectly straight, maybe it's nearly straight, but it's closer to straight than it is to being all hooked up like that. So nice and straight, pointing to the floor. That's also very important, all right? We don't want it pointing sideways like this. And some people sit with their arm like that, sideways. Just however you can do it. The guitar sits on your leg. You don't have to hold it in place with your arm, like you do for the ukulele, those of you who played. You don't need to hold it like a ukulele. You let it rest, so it means your arm can come over the guitar body. It doesn't go around the side, it comes over, and your fingers pointing to the floor. We all got that? Good. And with the tip of your finger, you're pulling the string. You're pulling your finger towards your thumb. And in fact, you're almost pushing down into the hole, all right? I'm playing right above the sound hole. I'm not playing over here. Different kind of sound down there. Sometimes you might want that sound, but right now, I'd rather it sounded like that, okay? And I'm not all the way up here, I'm here. So if you do the same thing, right above the hole, and kind of pushing into it, just practice that rest stroke. Take as long as you need. Make sure everyone's got this. This is a very, very important fundamental. And if we all get this now, then we're all set up for our future guitar playing. All right, so take a bit of time to do that. Right, now, we're also using our middle finger, index and middle, one and then the other, which is the technique that we call walking fingers. We did a lot of that in the last lesson. We're doing lots more of that today. Okay, so we're going to practice first of all on string 1, walking. And as you do when you're walking, one foot goes to the ground, the other foot goes forward in anticipation, ready for the next step. That one goes down, the other one goes forward. It's the same thing with walking fingers on the guitar. Like this, I'll give you a little close up. Index, middle, there you go. One of them plays, the other one goes forward. Practice that. Right, so I'm going to ask for a little pause in a moment. I want you to practice playing the string 1 with walking fingers, then 2, then 3, then 2. And I'm going to suggest you try to play with index, middle each time. I'll show you quickly and then you take some time to do it. I'm moving to string 2, doing the same thing, index, middle, then to string 3, and back to string 2. I could go round again, okay? And if you get really good at this, you might get a little quicker. And if you get really super good at this, you might go even quicker than that. All right, so take a moment, pause me, and have a go at that. Right, so let's try it all together, and we'll go at the same speed. Proper word for speed in music, I'm sure you all know. Tempo, yes, good. So we're going to go just like we were doing, string 1, then 2, then 3, then 2. That's our tempo. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, go. Okay, if you managed to keep up with that, very well done. If you didn't, it's really okay. These are early days. So we're going to turn our attention to the other hand, but don't forget that's the technique I will expect you to use. All right? What can sometimes happen is when you start concentrating on this hand and you're thinking what string and how do I press down and it's painful and all sorts of things. What can sometimes happen is you forget what you're doing down here and people end up doing all sorts of strange things. So please don't. Please keep the rest strokes happening. And mostly it's going to be walking fingers as well. All right? So let's turn our attention to how we use this other hand. Thumb at the back. Just your thumb, nothing else. I'll keep saying it because I'm sure there will still be some people hanging on to it like this. Just your thumb, all right? So, with your fingers pressing down, it's your fingertip. I can't say that enough times because however many times I say it, I still see people trying to press that part down. It's your tip. In fact, it's like your fingertip is going towards your thumb. There's a guitar neck in between. So you're pressing the string into the neck and your thumb is behind giving it strength. And it looks like that. It's going to be pretty close to a 90 degrees, a 90-degree angle. You know what that is? A right angle, it's sometimes called, going into the guitar neck. So like that, yeah? Not like that. Oh, no. Like that, straight in with your thumb. Oh, hello, behind. Okay? So let's look at some of the notes that we learned last time. So we learned the note A, which is on string 3. Remember, we're always counting from the floor upwards. 1, 2, 3. Fret 2, counting from the nut downwards. 1, 2. And remembering, you should have a blue sticker on your guitar neck in the place where your fingers should go, which is not on top of the fret, it's just next to it, just behind it. All right? Nice and strong, thumb behind, walking fingers. Let's go. This is A. Got it? If you've got a dent in your finger, that means you're doing it right. Okay, dent in your fingertip, that's fine. Okay, the next note we're going to do is C. Can you remember C? String 2, fret 1, red sticker. Now you've got to be super strong when it comes to fret 1, be extra strong. Thumb behind, fingertip pressing down. That's what C should sound like. That's what it should look like. Then we've got D, same string, string 2, up on fret 3. We're using finger 3. That's D. You should have a yellow sticker on your guitar. Right, so let's just make sure we're all remembering our finger numbers. Your index finger is 1, your middle finger is 2, your next finger, which is properly called your annular finger, is finger 3. Okay? Now, I'm going to be really fussy about which finger you use on which notes, all right? Some people, they got a favourite finger and they want to use that all the time. That's not good technique, so please try to go with me. And if I'm saying finger 2, go with finger 2, finger 1, finger 3, all right? Good. So let's go back over our tune that we started learning last time, which was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index throughout the whole piece. Starting with G, which is open string 3. Remember, open strings is the word we use when you're playing a string without pressing anything down. And then our next note is D. So D, we've just been playing it, yellow sticker, string 2, fret 3. Now do your best if you can to get that fingertip pressing down and your fingers not touching any other string on either side. It's a bit tricky, but if you can do it, it means you can do the whole opening just by choosing the correct strings with this hand. And that hand can just stay completely still. So we're going to go G, G, D, D, E, E, D, which is string 3, string 2, string 1, and string 2. Let's do that again. Go. Okay. Then the next bit, C, C, B, B, A, A, G. So we're starting on string 2, C, red sticker on fret 1, B, open string 2, then we move down to A, blue sticker on string 3, fret 2, and then G, open string 3. Okay, we got that so far? So let's move on to the next part, which goes D, D, C, C, B, B, A. And it does that twice. So notes we've used already. So let's do it again. D, D, C, C, B, B, A. And then we return to the whole of the opening section. It's the exact repeat. So G, G, D, D, E, E, D. C, C, B, B, A, G. So I'm now going to play the whole thing and invite you to play with me. I'm not going to say any of the notes. Hopefully you can remember them. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it for Twinkle Twinkle for now. It's time for me to teach you a new tune. Now, this piece of music is adapted for the guitar. It's originally written for an orchestra, like that's a massive group of lots of different instruments, and also for a choir at the same time, a big group of singers. It's quite a famous piece of music. It's popularly known as Ode to Joy, and it's part of a symphony by a composer called Beethoven, Ludwig van Beethoven. He was a German composer, known as one of the great composers, one of the greatest musicians ever. And he lived around about 200 years ago. Some of his music is very well known. You've probably heard some of his music without even knowing it. He wrote lots of music for orchestras. He wrote music for piano. He wrote music for voices. He even wrote some music for guitars. So, Ode to Joy, one of his best known pieces, and it goes like this. I'll just play it through for you, and then I'll tell you how to play it. Here we go. There's another section to it, which I'll come to at a later date, but for now I'm going to teach you how to do that. Now you only need 5 notes that you already know that we've just been playing, and those notes are G, open string 3, A, string 3 fret 2, B, open string 2, C, string 2 fret 1, and D, string 2 fret 3. Now this is forte. Now that's a word, that's another Italian word for you, and it literally means strong. In music, forte, usually shortened to just the letter F, it means loud. So we're going to play it nice and loud, yeah. How do you play loud on the guitar? You've probably figured this out yourself. You pluck the string quite hard. All right, make a nice loud sound, okay? So it's not every day you're encouraged to be loud in school, so please enjoy this opportunity. So it starts with lots of notes on string 2. It goes like this: B, B, C, B. So B, B, you know, is the open string. C is fret 1, red sticker, and D is fret 3, yellow sticker. I want finger 1 on fret 1, finger 3 on fret 3, please. Don't want to see any of that stuff going on, okay? Now, I want you to notice something. I'm going to play just those few notes. When I play this note D, and I've got this finger down here, this finger that's played C is still down. That doesn't affect the note. The way it works, the string vibrates from the point where your finger is all the way to this part down here, which is called the bridge. All right, so anything that touches any part from there to there is going to affect the note. It's going to affect the sound of the note. But anything that's on that side doesn't affect it. So I can have that finger there. The advantage is this. Watch what I do. after I've gone up to D, I'm going to go back down to C. All right. So if I don't leave it there and I end up doing that, I'm using a lot of energy that I don't actually need to use. All right. So this is not something that you have to do. This is one of those bits of advice where it's a useful thing to do, and I suggest you do it. But it's not wrong if you find yourself doing that. And some people do; they can't help themselves, and that's okay. But if you can keep it down, that really helps. So B, B, C, D. Like that. Okay, so let's just practice that a few times. B, B, C, D, walking fingers, starting with my index finger, go. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to go loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Stop. All right. Good. Okay. Then the next bit, we're on D. It's another D, and it goes D, C, D, A. So for the first time in this tune, we're dropping down to string 3 for that last note, A. D, C, D, A. One more time. D, C, D, A. So from the start, let's go. B, B, C, D, D, C, B, A. Got it? Ready, steady, go. Okay. Then we've got a G, G, so we're mostly on string 3 here for G, G, open string 3, A, we've just played, and then we're up to string 2, open string 2 for B, G, G, A, B, let's do it again. And then we've got this, B, A, A. Now, up until now, all the notes have been even, they've been equal in length, they're all the same notes, so notes that are actually called crotchets, 1-beat notes, all right? And then you've got this ba, ba, ba. So you've got a longer note followed by a shorter note. All right, for anyone who's interested, the longer one is a dotted crotchet and the shorter one is a quaver. Everybody's favourite note because you think you can eat it. B, A, A. All right, so we're doing an open string 2, B, A, A, and then a short A, and then a normal length A. B, A, A. Got it? Let's just do that last bit that goes G, G, A, B, B, A, A. So the next part of the tune is exactly the same as the first part, and all it changes is that last little bit. I will show you. B, B, C, D. B, C, D, A, G, G, A, B. And this is where it changes. Instead of going B, A, it goes A, G, G. So it's just the same as the first half. It changes only in the last 3 notes. So I'll do that last little section again. G, G, A, B, A, G, G. And again. I'll show you what's happening down here. I'm doing index, middle, going up to string 2 with that middle finger. Okay, got it? All right, we're going to put the whole thing together and that will be our last thing for today. So let's see how well we can do it. Starting B, B, C, D. That's it. Sounds like a television channel, doesn't it? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. D, C, B, A, G, G, A, B, B, A, A, B, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, G, G, A, B, A, G, G. Wonderful. I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm not going to be chatting throughout it. I'm just playing the notes. See if you can play with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed playing that today. I will be back next week. So take care of yourself till then. Bye bye.